गुड मॉर्निंग स्टुडंट्स. बायोलॉजीच्या ह्या सेकंड लेक्चरला आज आपण स्टार्ट करतो आहोत. बिफोर स्टार्टिंग टुडेज टॉपिक, फर्स्ट आय विल रिवाइज इन शॉर्ट. In last lecture we have started this chapter for number 1, reproduction in lower and higher plants. In this lecture we discussed about the two main methods of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Uh, Actually, we did not discussed anything about asexual reproduction, but there are three main types of asexual reproduction, that is fragmentation, budding, and spore formation. After that, we discussed about the vegetative reproduction. There are three methods for vegetative reproduction, that is cutting, grafting, and tissue culture. Okay, then all this is regarding asexual reproduction. After that, I introduced to you about sexual reproduction and the main points and introductory topics regarding sexual reproduction. And now the today's point is structure of anther. What is anther? Anther is the male reproductive whorl of the flower, and the individual member of this anther is stamen. Okay, now see the name of the chapter, as you know, reproduction in lower and higher plants. आताच जे मी सांगितलं ते लोअर प्लांट्सच्या बाबतीत होतं किंवा लोअर ऑर्गॅनिझम्सच्या बाबतीत होतं. नाव सी स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ anther. An immature stage of anther is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by single layered epidermis. Means now we are discussing about the individual structure of anther, means how the single anther looks or how it is made up of. So an immature stage of anther is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by single layered epidermis. Means the wall of the anther is made up of single layered epidermis. When it is immatured, it is whole, and when it matures, it ruptures and pollen grains comes out of the anther. Okay, so anther is generally diathecous, means it is having two lobes and tetrasporangiate. How it is having two lobes, we'll see in the diagram afterwards. In the next slide, we'll see the diagram of anther. Basically, anther is generally diathecous, means it is having two lobes, and tetrasporangiate, means in each lobe there are two sacs. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Hence, it is called as tetrasporangiate. Each monothecous anther contains two pollen sacs. In diathecous anther, 4 pollen sacs are present, and that's why it is called as tetrasporangiate. The heterogeneity, that is differentiation, arises when some hypodermal cells get transformed into archisporial cells. Now, what is this archisporial cell? The definition of this is it is the part of megasporangium and divides to give rise to a megasporocyte found in heterosporous ferns and seed plants. Means these archisporial cells are found in some seed plants as well as ferns, means Nephrolepis. May also give rise to the sterile cells. These archisporial cells give rise to the sterile cells. So what is this megasporangium and all that we'll discuss further. We shall discuss further. So have you understood this? Structure of anther. It is immature stage of anther is represented by group of parenchymatous cells. You know about parenchymatous cells, the thin wall loosely arranged cells of plants is called as parenchymatous cells, and this anther is made up of an outer layer which is called as epidermis. You know, epi means upon, derma mean layer. So outer layer of anther is made up of these parenchymatous tissues which is called as epidermis, and remember it is the single layer of cell. Now anther is generally diathecous, means it is having, di means two, two lobes are there, and in each lobe there are two sacs, and hence it is called as tetrasporangiate. We'll discuss in this diagram. Okay, next diagram. Each monothecous anther contains two pollen sacs. The diathecous anther is, again it is repeated over here. They are having four pollen sacs, therefore it is called as tetrasporangiate. Tetra means four. The heterogeneity, now just now I told you about this. Now see, it is the diagram of anther. Okay, so it is one lobe of anther and it is another lobe of anther, and hence it is called as diathecous anther. Okay, diathecous, two lobes, that's why diathecous. And tetrasporangiate means four pollen sacs are there. Sporaginous tissues are four. Now see, the outer layer is called as epidermis, which is the single layered parenchymatous tissues are present over here, this outer layer. After that, here the connective is present which connects these two lobes. Okay, after that, whatever the four sporogenous or pollen sacs, these yellow colored lobes or sacs are called as pollen sacs. So inside this there are four pollen sacs are present. In between the epidermis and pollen sacs, a layer is called as middle layer. Okay, and tapetum is the outer layer of each pollen sac. Okay, so what are the main structure of this diagram or this tiers of anther? See, the outer layer is epidermis. Inner to that there are middle layers which are also made up of parenchymatous cells. After that, the four pollen sacs are present. That's why it is called as tetrasporangium. And the outer layer of this pollen sac is called as tapetum, or it is made up of tapetum. And inside that sporogenous tissues are present. Sporogenous म्हणजे काय? The spore producing. Spore means pollen grains producing. So it is the structure of anther, which is the part of stamen. Stamen is nothing but the androecium, male reproductive whorl of the flower, and this anther produces pollen grains. Actual formation of pollen grains takes place inside these pollen sacs, and after the maturity, this after maturity, this wall ruptures, means dehiscence takes place. Dehiscence means breaking. See in the next diagram here, the outer layer is broken down and pollen grains are coming out. Okay, of that anther. It is the dehisced anther. Dehisced means after breaking, the pollen grains emerges outside. You do you understand this diagram? Now next slide. The archisporial cells divide into an inner sporogenous cells and outer primary parietal cell. Sporogenous cells form sporogenous tissue. Each cell of sporogenous tissue is capable of giving rise to a microspore tetrad. Parietal cell undergoes division to form anther wall layers. The wall of mature anther consists of four layers. So here these four layers are many important for your explanation in the examination and also for your study. It is the introductory part, that is archisporial cell divided into inner sporogenous cell. Means inner sporogenous, how it forms. The outer primary parietal cell is also there. Sporogenous cells form sporogenous tissues, means it is obvious that from the aggregation of cells there is the formation of these sporogenous tissues. Each cell of sporogenous tissue is capable of giving rise to microspore tetrad. These sporogenous tissues which are present over here, they produces this tetrad. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pollen sacs are formed by sporogenous tissues which are present over here inside the anther. Parietal cell undergoes divisions to form anther wall layers. The wall of mature anther consists of, now see, first epidermis. Just now I explained you that it is the outermost layer. See this epidermis, it is the epidermis, means this single layered outer covering is called as epidermis, which is made up of parenchymatous tissues. What is the function? It is protective layer and made up of tubular cells. Tube-like cells or elongated flattened cells are there. Okay. After that, endothe endothecium. Sorry, endothecium means what? See here. Below the epidermis, there is the endothecium cells are present. Just below the epidermis, whatever the layer is present inside that or inner to epidermis is called as endothecium. Just below the epidermis, whatever the layer is present at the inner side of this anther is called as endothecium. It is subepidermal layer made up of radially elongated cells with fibrous thickenings. These cells are somewhat thick than the epidermal cells. Okay. Now, third, middle layer. Middle layer means what? Outer epidermis and inner tapetum. Or over here also, all this is called as middle layer. Inner to endothecium. Endothecium is also single layered structure. So inner to endothecium is middle layer made up of thin walled cells. 1 to 2 layers only this much. 1 to 2 layers may be there, which may disintegrate in the mature anther. When this anther becomes mature, at that time it will rupture. This wall will rupture. At that time, these middle layers may disappear or disintegrate. Then tapetum. It is the innermost nutritive layer of anther wall. Anther wall, innermost tapetum. म्हणजे लेयर्सच्या बाबतीत जर विचार केला आपण 1 by 1 layers, तर epidermis झालाय, endothecium झालाय, middle layer झालाय. Now innermost layer is called as tapetum. See, this one is called as this also, tapetum. Okay, so it is the innermost nutritive layer of anther wall. It immediately encloses the sporogenous tissues, that is microspore mother cell. You should remember this word, sporogenous tissue microspore mother cell, or shortly it is called as MMC. Microspore means pollen grains, and pollen grains generates the pollen grains, hence it is called as sporogenous. Sporogenous tissues, that is microspore mother cells. Okay, next, we already discussed this diagram. Now, what is microsporogenesis? Microspores, just now I repeatedly telling you that what is microspore? It is nothing but the pollen grains. Okay, so microsporogenesis, how this genesis or formation of microspores, that is pollen grains, takes place. Actually microspores म्हणजेच pollen grains कसे form होतात. Here each microspore mother cells divides meiotically to form tetrad of haploid microspores, means pollen grains. See, all these are the pollen grains. It is the structure of hibiscus flower, and here also some of the datura plants are there and microspores are there. So each microspore mother cell divides meiotically when there is the formation of pollen grains. At that time, as it is the male gamete, it forms by meiosis. You know that meiosis is the process which takes place in germ cells, that is reproductive cells. Okay, and mitosis is the type of cell division which takes place in somatic cells, that is body cells, whatever it may be, plants or in animals. So in microspore mother cell, means this microspore mother cells divides by mitosis process to form a tetrad of haploid microspore, that is pollen grains. What is tetrad? We'll discuss in the next diagram. See, structure of microspore. Before dealing with the tetrad, a tetrad will come afterwards. So what is the structure of microspore? Means how a pollen grain looks like. Typical pollen grain is non-motile, म्हणजे you know that pollination means what? Transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower, or just transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called as pollination. But फॉर पॉलिनेशन सम एजंट इज रिक्वायर्ड, म्हणजे काहीतरी लागतं कारण फॉर द ट्रान्सफर ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्स फ्रॉम अँथर टू स्टिग्मा. आयदर इट मे बी बाय विंड, एक तर वाऱ्याने वाहून जातात पोलन ग्रेन्स एका फुलावरून दुसऱ्या फुलावर, ऑर इट मे बी बाय इन्सेक्ट्स, बर्ड्स एक्सेट्रा. ओके, याचा अर्थ असा आहे की पोलन ग्रेन हे स्वतः उडून जाऊ म्हणजे स्वतः मोटाईल नाहीये, दिस इज नॉन मोटाईल. ओके, टिपिकल पोलन ग्रेन इज, पोलन ग्रेन सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे. Typical pollen grain is a non-motile haploid, as it is the product of meiosis. It is haploid, unicellular body. It is having a single cell. See here, one pollen grain is shown over here. So typically pollen grain is non-motile haploid unicellular body. It is made up of single cell with single nucleus, single cell, single nucleus. Okay, see here it is the nucleus. Okay, vegetative nucleus. After that there is the formation of this another cell which is having another nucleus. But basically pollen grain is non-motile haploid unicellular body with single nucleus. It is surrounded by two layered wall called as sporoderm. See, this pollen grain is having this outer wall and it is the inner wall. Means pollen grain is enclosed into these layers, two layers. Outer is called as exine while the inner is called as intine. The outer layer exine is thick. See, it is shown over here. It is thick and made up of complex non-biodegradable substance called as sporopollenin. Always remember that this exine is made up of non-biodegradable, a complex substance which is called as sporopollenin. Sporopollenin नावाचा एक substance या ठिकाणी असतोय at the exine, outer layer of this pollen grain. It may be smooth or with sculptured pattern. Characteristic of the species means it may be different according to species. Species to species, the structure of exine may be different. In some flowers, this exine is smooth-walled, while in some flowers it may be spiny like this. Okay, spiny like this, or in some flowers it may be smooth-walled. So it may be smooth or with sculptured pattern. इट इज रेजिस्टंट टू केमिकल्स, म्हणजे जरी काही केमिकल्स त्या फ्लॉवरला किंवा त्या ठिकाणी असले तरी दिस एक्झाइन is resistant, it can withstand with that position, with that situation. Okay, resistant to chemicals means sometimes बघा शेतीमध्ये फवारणी वगैरे केली जाते फुलांवर म्हणजे पिकांवर आणि त्या पिकांना फुलं आलेली असतात, तर त्या केमिकल्सचा ह्या पोलन ग्रेनवर काही इफेक्ट होत नाही आणि तो एक्झाइन रप्चर होत नाही. जे काही पॉलिनेशन व्हायचं असेल ते होतच. ओके, रेजिस्टंट, सो इट इज रेजिस्टंट टू केमिकल्स. At some places, exine is very thin, showing thin areas known as jumpos. It is also most important. See, the thickness of this exine is not uniform. In some areas it is thin, while in some areas it may be thick like this. So where it is thin, that makes a pore, which is called a jumpore. In monocotyledonous plants, this jumpore is 1, and in dicots it may be jumpos may be 3. म्हणजे monocotyledonous plant, in monocotyledonous plants jumpore is single, 1 only, and in dicotyledonous plants number of jumpos are 3 or maybe more. These are meant for the growth of emerging pollen tube during germination of pollen grain. What is the function of this jumpore? जेव्हा हे पोलन ग्रेनचं पोलन जर्मिनेशन होईल, at that time pollen tube comes out through this pore. Why? To transfer the male gametes up to the ovary of the flower. These are meant for the growth of emerging pollen tube during germination of pollen grain. The inner wall, that is intine, the inner wall layer intine consists of cellulose and pectin. Underline this and write down in your notebook. The intine is made up of cellulose and pectin, while the exine is made up of sporopollenin. Okay, exine is made up of complex non-biodegradable substance which is called as sporopollenin, and intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. pectin. You are well familiar of these two names. What is cellulose and what is pectin? These are the type of polysaccharides which are present at the cell wall of plants. Okay. Now, it is the structure of only one single pollen grain: exine, intine, germ pore. Now, after deposition of pollen grain on the stigma, it makes two types of cells. Means their division takes place, uh, by which this cell is divided into two types, that is vegetative cell and generative cell. इथे एक असं डिव्हिजन होतं किंवा एक कंपार्टमेंट पुन्हा फॉर्म होतं. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज दिस बिग is called as vegetative cell, which is having vegetative nucleus, and this small area is called as generative cell, which this small area generative cell which is having this generative nucleus. Now next, always remember that pollen viability is the functional ability of pollen grain to germinate, to develop male gametophyte. म्हणजे कोणत्याही पोलन ग्रेन ची काय कॅपॅसिटी असते टू फॉर्म मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. आताच तुम्हाला सांगितलं की जर्म पोर पासून जी पोलन ट्यूब अराइज होते, दॅट इज प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज फॉर्मेशन ऑफ मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. सो द पोलन व्हायबिलिटी स्ट्रेंथ, थोडक्यात पोलन ग्रेनची जी काही स्ट्रेंथ आहे, डिपेंड्स अपॉन द एन्व्हायरमेंटल कंडिशन्स ऑफ टेम्परेचर अँड ह्युमिडिटी. एखादा पोलन ग्रेन एका फ्लॉवर म्हणजे अँथरवरून स्टिग्मा वर डिपॉझिट झाल्यानंतर किती वेळात त्याचं जर्मिनेशन होईल, लगेच होईल की किती वेळात होईल, हे कशावर डिपेंड आहे? कंडिशन्स, एन्व्हायरमेंटल कंडिशन्स लाईक टेम्परेचर अँड ह्युमिडिटी. ओके. इट इज 30 मिनिट्स इन राईस अँड व्हीट. म्हणजे राईस अँड व्हीट सारख्या काही प्लांट्समध्ये ओनली 30 मिनिट्स आर इनफ sufficient to germinate pollen tube. Pollen viability is only of 30 minutes. But in some members like of family Solanaceae, Rosaceae, Leguminosae, it lasts even for months. म्हणजे काही महिने सुद्धा लागू शकतात. रोज सारख्या प्लांट्स मध्ये, सोलॅनेसीच्या फॅमिलीच्या प्लांट्स मध्ये किंवा लेग्युमिनोसी म्हणजे ज्या शेंगावर्गीय आहे सगळे, पी, वाटाणा वगैरे, तर ह्यांच्यामध्ये इट इज पोलन व्हायबिलिटीज ऑफ सेव्हरल मंथ्स ऑल्सो. It is your task to find out why pollen grains can remain well preserved as fossils. याचा आन्सर शोधण्याचा प्रयत्न करा. नाही मिळालं तर मला विचारा, मी नक्की सांगेन. नेक्स्ट, नाव डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. मगाशीपासून जे मी तुम्हाला सांगते की इथे एक जर्म पोर असतं आणि त्याच्यातून एक पोलन ट्यूब बाहेर येते, ही अशा प्रकारे. दॅट हेडिंग इज नथिंग बट द डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. कसं? अँथर तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे. व्हॉट इज अँथर? इट इज द part of stamen. Stamen is nothing but the member of androecium. Androecium is the male reproductive whorl of the flower. म्हणूनच मी तुम्हाला पहिल्या लेक्चरला जो काही होमवर्क दिला होता तो कंपल्सरी करायचा आहे. 4 फ्लोरल वल्स, इसेन्शियल कुठले, नॉन इसेन्शियल कुठले, मेल कुठले, फिमेल कुठले. ओके. अँड्रोशियम म्हणजे मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह वर्ल, गायनोशियम म्हणजे फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह वर्ल ऑफ द फ्लॉवर. सी हिअर how the development of male gametophyte takes place, means how germ pore gives rise to this pollen tube. See, pollen grain marks the beginning of the male gametophyte. pollen grain एकदा फॉर्म झाला की सुरुवात झालेली आहे मेल गॅमेटोफाइट्स तयार व्हायला. मेल गॅमेटोफाइट म्हणजे हे स्ट्रक्चर पूर्ण. ओके. So pollen grains marks the beginning of the male gametophyte. It undergoes first mitotic division to produce bigger naked vegetative cell. आताच मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की इथे 2 सेल्स तयार होतात, बरोबर? हे बघा, ह्या याच्यात सांगितलं मी तुम्हाला की हे एक मोठा आहे स्पेस, इथे कंपार्टमेंट होतं. व्हॉट इज दिस? इट इज द व्हेजिटेटिव्ह सेल अँड दिस इज जनरेटिव्ह सेल. ओके. सो सी हिअर, दॅट इज शोन ओव्हर हिअर. इट इज द व्हेजिटेटिव्ह सेल and it is the generative cell. So pollen grain marks the beginning of the male gametophyte. When pollen grain is formed, at that time male gametophyte, beginning of the formation of this male gametophyte takes place. It undergoes first mitotic division. From this single cell 2 cells are formed. It is by mitosis, not meiosis. It is by mitosis. 2 cells are, one gives rise to 2 cells, but one is bigger and another is smaller. That bigger is called as generative cell and that smaller is called as it is the vegetative cell, sorry, and it is the generative cell. So it undergoes first mitotic division to produce bigger naked vegetative cell. First mitotic division results into this bigger naked open and vegetative cell. This is called as vegetative cell, and this small thin walled is called as generative cell. The vegetative cell, what is the characteristic of vegetative cell? It is rich in food and having irregular shaped nucleus. It is rich in food means when there will be the formation of this male gametophyte, at that time some energy source is required, which is provided by this vegetative cell. It is having food, rich in food, and it is having irregular shaped nucleus. See, this nucleus is irregular shaped. The generative cell floats in the cytoplasm of vegetative cell. This generative cell is floating in this cytoplasm of vegetative cell. The second meiotic division, again meiosis takes place. Okay, here from the formation of here to here is first meiotic division, and from here to here again second meiotic division is concerned with the generative cell only. Here now this vegetative cell is disintegrated and only generative cell is there. Second meiotic division is concerned with the generative cell only and gives rise to two non-motile male gametes. See here, two non-motile male gametes are producing, and now these are completely produced. Two male gametes are ready over here, which are present in this generative cell. Okay, again I am repeating this point. See, the second meiotic division is concerned with the generative cell only. Now here these processes D and E is not having any, here there is no any role of generative cell, it just providing food. Okay, second meiotic division is concerned with the only generative cell, means the generative cell becomes active here, and diagram number C, D and E. It gives rise to the two non-motile male gametes. Now here two non-motile male gametes are forming and it is completely formed. The meiotic division of generative cell takes place either in pollen grain or in pollen tube. Means it can, the formation maybe takes place over here or over here also. म्हणजे हे जे फॉर्मेशन आहे हे एकतर ह्या एरियात होतं किंवा पोलन ट्यूब मध्ये पण होऊ शकतं, कारण नाहीतरी इथे फॉर्म झालेले मेल गॅमेट्स नंतर पुढेच ट्रान्सफर होणार आहे पोलन ट्यूब मध्ये. का? टू रीच अप टू द ओव्हरी. यू नो दॅट नाउ दिस पोलन ग्रेन मीन्स वॉट एव्हर इट इज form or it is taking place, it is on the stigma of the flower, and stigma, style and ovary, these are the main organs or parts of the gynoecium of the flower. The mitotic division of generative cell takes place either in the pollen grain or in the pollen tube. The pollen grains are shed off from the anther. Pollen grain काय होतात, anther पासून बाजूला जातात, and these two cell stage इन मोस्ट अँजिओस्पर्म्स म्हणजे टू सेल स्टेज जी आहे ही शिल्लक राहते. फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह वर्ल ऑफ द फ्लावर इज गायनोशियम. आता हे हियर देर इज द डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट female, what is female reproductive whorl of the flower? Just now I told you that gynoecium is the innermost fourth floral whorl, which is nothing but the female reproductive whorl of the flower. जसं आपण अँड्रोशियमच्या इंडिव्हिज्युअल मेंबरला स्टेमेन म्हणतो आणि स्टेमेन इज मेडअप ऑफ अँथर अँड फिलामेंट, अगदी त्याचप्रमाणे गायनोशियमला तुम्ही पिस्टिल असं म्हणू शकतात. जसं anther is made up of stamens, gynoecium is made up of pistil, or it may be called as the pistil. Individual member of the gynoecium is called as carpel. Megasporophyll, लक्षात घ्या, microspore means pollen grains and megaspores means carpel, that is the individual member of gynoecium, which is made up of stigma, style and ovary. A flower with many free carpels is called apocarpus. मेनी फ्री कार्पेल्स असेल तर ते अपोकार्पस आहे. इथे आता हे सीन बघा, अ फ्लॉवर विथ मेनी फ्री कार्पेल्स इज कॉल्ड ॲज अपोकार्पस. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मिचेलिया. मिचेलिया नावाचं जे फ्लॉवर आहे त्याच्यामध्ये बरेचसे कार्पेल्स आहेत. जसं आपण hibiscus मध्ये पाहतो there is a single carpel, stigma, style and ovary single. But in some flowers there may be many free carpels are present. That is called as apocarpus. Now second term regarding to this is syncarpus. Syncarpus flower is one that has many carpels fused together. Carpels are many but they are not free. They are many carpels which are fused, joined with each other. That is called as syncarpus. For example, brinjal. You should make points of this. What is gynoecium? It is pistil. What is carpel? Individual member of gynoecium. What is apocarpus? A flower with many free carpels is apocarpus, and flower with many fused carpels is syncarpus. So you should make points like this. Example of syncarpus flower is brinjal. After that, typical carpel has three parts. You know that stigma, style and ovary. The number of ovules in any ovary varies. Means एका ovary मध्ये किती ovules असतील? दुसऱ्या भाषेत सांगायचं झालं तर एका फ्रूट मध्ये किती सीड्स असतील हे त्या त्या स्पीसीज वर डिपेंड आहे. ओके. द नंबर ऑफ ओव्ह्यूल्स इन द ओव्हरी. ओव्हरी मध्ये किती ओव्ह्यूल्स आहे? जसं भेंडी आपण पाहतो, भेंडीच्या ओव्हरी मध्ये बरेचसे दाणे दाणे दिसतात. दॅट इज द ओव्ह्यूल्स. ओके. द नंबर ऑफ ओव्ह्यूल्स इन द ओव्हरी व्हॅरीज. फॉर एक्झाम्पल इन पॅडी म्हणजे तांदळात वेगळं आहे त्याची संख्या, व्हीट गव्हात वेगळी आहे, मँगो मध्ये वेगळी आहे. दे आर युनि ओव्ह्युलेट. फॉर एक्झाम्पल पॅडी, व्हीट अँड मँगो देर आर युनि ओव्ह्युलेट. एका ओव्हरीत एकच ओव्ह्यूल. बरोबर. पॅडी म्हणजे तांदूळ, गहू म्हणजे व्हीट आणि मँगो ह्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला काय दिसतं? युनि ओव्ह्युलेट कंडिशन इन विच सिंगल ovary is having single ovule, but in tomato or lady's finger there are multi ovulate. ओके. टोमॅटो मध्ये बऱ्याचशे ओव्ह्यूल्स असतात म्हणून नंतर सीड्स पण बऱ्याचशे असतात. भेंडीमध्ये सुद्धा लेडीज फिंगर मध्ये बऱ्याचशा ओव्ह्यूल्स आहेत म्हणून सीड्स पण भरपूर आहेत. लाईक दिस. Now here only a single gynoecium is shown, that is made up of stigma, style and ovary. You know that all these are the anthers which are having filaments and they are called as stamens. Okay, that are the male parts, and it is the gynoecium that is pistil. Individual is called as carpel and made up of stigma, style and ovary. Next, structure of anatropous ovule. Structure of anatropous ovule. Now structure of anatropous ovule. Each ovule develops inside the ovary and attached to the placenta by a small stalk called as funiculus. Okay. Anatropous ovule means what? Now आतापर्यंत आपण काय पाहिलं? स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एंथर, देन gynoecium, pollen grain. Now ovule which is present inside the ovary. Ovary, you know about the ovary. Ovary is the part of gynoecium, female reproductive whorl of the flower. What is present inside that ovary is ovule. Each ovule develops inside the ovary. Okay. जसं एखाद्या फ्रूट मध्ये सीड्स असतात. लक्षात घ्या, ovary gives rise to the fruit and ovules gives rise to the seeds in the fruit. Okay. Each ovule develops inside the ovary and attached to the placenta. See, it is the placenta. By a small stalk called as funiculus. See, it is the funicle. Funicle. It is also called as funicle single, funiculus. It may be called as funiculus. The place of attachment of funiculus with the main body of ovule is called as hilum. See here, this point of attachment of this funicle to this body is called as hilum. In angiosperms, the most common type of ovule is anatropous. बऱ्याचशा फ्लॉवरिंग प्लांट्स मध्ये म्हणजेच अँजिओस्पर्म्स मध्ये ही कॉमन टाइप आहे. अनाट्रोपस ओव्ह्यूल आहे, इन्व्हर्टेड आहे म्हणून त्याला म्हणतात अनाट्रोपस. उलटीच दिसते बघा आपल्याला, ओपनिंग हे खालच्या बाजूला आहे. सो द in angiosperm the most common type of ovule is anatropous ovule in which micropyle is directed downwards. Micropyle is directed downward. तुम्हाला हे micropyle खालच्या दिशेने दिसेल and present adjacent to the funiculus. फ्युनिक्युलसच्या ऍडजसंट जवळ आहे. ओके. द ovule consists of central parenchymatous tissue, the nucellus. This central parenchymatous tissue is called as nucellus. Okay, see this nucellus. This is made up of parenchymatous tissues. The ovule consists of central parenchymatous tissue, the nucellus. This here all this area is having parenchymatous tissue, and inside this parenchymatous tissue, this egg sac is present, green colored. So the ovule, this area is called as nucellus. Spelling net lakshat घ्या, nucellus, nucleus nahi, nucellus. Okay. So in angiosperm, the most common type of ovule is anatropous, that is micropyle is present directed toward the downward end, present adjacent to the funiculus. Here the ovule consists of central parenchymatous tissue. This structure is called as, these two are the layers, protective layers, which is called as integuments. But inside this is area which is made up of parenchymatous tissue is called as nucellus, which is surrounded usually by two protective coverings. See, this is first covering, and inner to that one more covering is there, which is called as integuments. Obviously this is the outer integument and it is the inner integument. A narrow opening at the apex of the ovule is called as micropyle. This narrow opening from where this pollen tube enters inside this ovary is called as micropyle. This is the opening. Opening at the apex of the ovule is called as micropyle, and exactly opposite end of this micropyle is called as chalaza. Chalaza is the base of the ovule. It is the base and it is the apex. Exactly at the opposite direction of micropyle, there is the chalaza. Chalazal end. Embryo sac, that is female gametophyte, is oval multicellular structure embedded inside the nucellus. Okay. So this nucellus, वारंवार मी तुम्हाला सांगते, what is this? It is the nucellus, and म्हणजे nucellus नावाच्या इथे सगळ्या tissues आहे, parenchymatous tissues, and this pollen sac is embedded inside the nucellus. Embryo sac means this green colored structure is called as embryo sac, which is also called as female gametophyte. Okay. See, these are the actual diagrams of some anatropous ovules. It is the pomegranate, डाळिंबाचं हे फूल आहे आणि याच्यामध्ये हे anatropous ovule आपल्याला दिसले. इथे सगळे हे stamens आहे. What all these are the stamens, and this is the stigma, style, and ovary, anatropous ovary, like this. Okay. All these diagrams are of that pomegranate flower, anatropous ovary. Now megasporogenesis, जसं आपण मगाशी मायक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस म्हणजेच फॉर्मेशन ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्स पाहिलं. Now what is megasporogenesis? Megaspores कसे फॉर्म होतात? Megaspores means, see, it is the process of formation of haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell. MMC पुन्हा इथे आलेले बघा. MMC ही, it is also one more actual diagram of this megaspore mother cell. The process of formation of haploid megaspores from the diploid megaspore mother cell is called as megasporogenesis. Means थोडक्यात megaspores means female gametes and microspores means pollen grains, male gametes in plants, angiosperms. So megaspore mother cell becomes distinguished in the nucellus. Megaspore mother cell become distinguished in the nucellus, more or less in the center, but towards the micropylar end of the ovule. At the micropylar end of the ovule, there is the micropylar end megaspores. This is the micropylar end, and these are the megaspore. See, egg. It is the main cell. This bunch is main, 3 cells. Okay. Megaspore mother cell becomes distinguished in the nucellus. Nucellus मध्ये त्याचं differentiation distinguished होतं. More or less in the center. Center मध्ये कमी वेळा होतो, पण जास्त वेळा कुठे होतो ते मायक्रोपायलर एंडला होतो, ओव्ह्यूलच्या. ओव्ह्यूलच्या. ओके, मेगास्पोर मध्ये असेल. सी. नाव नेक्स्ट, डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ फिमेल गॅमेटोफाइट. डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ फिमेल गॅमेटोफाइट सगळं एक्सप्लेनेशन पाहण्यापूर्वी आपण ही डायग्राम पाहूया. सी, मेगास्पोर मदर सेल कुठली आता बघा. मेगास्पोर मदर सेल म्हणजे ही मधली एग. ह्या सगळ्या आपलं राहिलं बघा एक्सप्लेनेशन. म्हणजे याचे चलाझल एंड सांगितलं तुम्हाला. अँटीपोडल हे एक महत्वाचं राहिलं. एम्ब्रिओ सॅकच्या आतमध्ये काय काय असतं. ही एम्ब्रिओ सॅक आहे ग्रीन कलरची. त्याच्या आतमध्ये ह्याच्या चलाझल एंडला असणाऱ्या 3 सेल्स आहेत दॅट आर कॉल्ड ॲज अँटीपोडल्स. अँड व्हॉट एव्हर द 3 cells प्रेझेंट ॲट द मायक्रोपायलर एंड आर कॉल्ड ॲज, देर आर 3 cells. Center is called as egg cell, egg, and these 2 ज्या आजूबाजूला 2 that is the synergids. Okay, this diagram is very much important. You should draw this diagram at least 10 times and label that. Okay, so chelas ha integuments हे सगळं झालं. Now what is the embryo sac? Embryo sac is having these 3 cells which is called as antipodals. ह्या कुठून आल्या ते आपण आता पाहणार आहोत. antipodals चलाझल एंडला. मायक्रोपायलर एंडला ज्या 3 सेल्स आहेत त्यातली जी मिडलची आहे दॅट इज द एग सेल, अँड दिस 2 आर कॉल्ड एज सिनर्जिड्स. Centrally there is the secondary nucleus, and this whole green colored structure which is oval in shape is called as embryo sac. Okay, outer integument, inner integument झालं, hilum झालं, it is the point of attachment. Funicle झालं, placenta. Placenta पाहणार micropyle आणि nucellus. Okay, placenta means that axis to which this ovule is attached. Okay, next, see, now this megaspore mother cell which is diploid, that megaspore mother cell divided by meiosis to form 4 haploid cells. See, from this megaspore mother cell which is diploid, there is the meiosis takes place by which there is a tetrad formation takes place. Tetrad, 4 cells. Now out of these 4 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4 cells, cell number 1, 2, 3 degenerates and only cell number 4 is remaining over here. So these 1, 2, 3 are degenerated cells and megaspore or embryo sac is formed remaining. So here megaspore or embryo sac which is haploid, because meiosis takes place. As meiosis takes place, all these 4 cells are haploid. Out of these 4 cells, cell number 1, 2, 3 are degenerated and only 4th cell is present over here, which is called as megaspore or embryo sac. Now growth, nourishment by nucellus. Because nucellus is present, and nucellus are nothing but the nutritive tissues, this nucellus grows, and after certain growth mitosis takes place. First mitosis, the result of first mitosis is formation of 2 cells that is present at the end of nearest to the micropyle. All these events are happening over here. Okay, so the result of first mitosis is formation of these 2 nuclei. Then second mitosis takes place which forms again 2, that is 4 nuclei. And now the result of the third mitosis takes place, means formation of these 8 cells. From one cell there is a formation, from one nucleus 2 nuclei, from 2 nuclei 4 nuclei, and from 4 nuclei again 8 nuclei are formed over here. Out of these 8 nuclei, 4 are present over here and 4 are present over here. 3 are attached to their poles, polar ends, and 2 are shifted at the center. Now these 3 nuclei are called as 3 antipodal cells. Just now I shown you. After that, these 3, out of these 3, the middle one is called as egg. See, egg. And these 2 are called as synergids, 2 synergids. Okay, and here the two cells are present, two nuclei are present which are called as two polar nuclei from this pole 1 and from this pole 1. That's why these two are called as polar nuclei. Now nuclear fusion means these two polar nuclei fuses and looks like this. Okay, what is this? Mature embryo sac means female gametophyte just before fertilization. 7 nuclei are present. 6 are haploid and 1 is diploid. These 3 and 3 are haploid nuclei, and while it is diploid nuclei because it is the fusion. That's why from haploid means haploid plus haploid is equal to diploid nuclei formation takes place. Now we'll discuss this. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. See, meiosis. This megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form linear tetrad. Linear tetrad. This is the called as linear tetrad. Okay, in one line. After that, see, meiosis to form linear tetrad of haploid cells, that is megaspores. Upper 3 megaspores abort. Abort means they degenerate, and the lowest one toward the center of the nucellus remains functional. See, only this remains functional and these 3 abort, means degenerate. Uh, it acts as the first cell of the female gametophyte. Hmm? It acts as the first cell of female gametophyte. Yes, it acts as first cell. Means now this will act as the first cell of female gametophyte. Generally, one megaspore towards the center is functional megaspore. Generally, one megaspore jo at the center, it becomes the functional megaspore. It is in fact the first cell of female gametophyte. आता सांगितलं की that is acts as the first cell of female gametophyte. It undergoes 3 successive free nuclear mitotic divisions. First, second, third, 3 nuclear divisions. Thus, total 8 nuclei are formed, 4 of which are located at each pole. 4 of which acts as each pole. Actually इथे 4 आणि इथे 4 जायला हवे होते, पण one polar nuclei इथे जवळ आलेले. Okay, so it undergoes 3 successive free nuclear mitotic division. Successive means एकानंतर एक अशा 3 वेळा mitotic division होतात. Thus, total 8 nuclei are formed, 4 of which are located at each pole. One nucleus from each pole migrates towards the center and are called as polar nuclei. Now, 3 nuclei towards the micropylar end constitute egg apparatus. Okay. 3 nuclei towards the micropylar end constitute egg apparatus. So, here it acts as the egg apparatus. This micropylar end. Micropylar end कडे जे असतात that acts as the it acts as the egg apparatus. It consists of large central haploid egg cell and 2 supporting haploid synergid cells. Actually, this is large than this synergids. Synergids पेक्षा ही जी मधली ना ती जरा large असते. Okay. So it consists of large central जे आहे, it is haploid egg cell. आत्ताच तुम्हाला वारंवार सांगितलं की what is this? It as a egg म्हणजे female gamete. Actually, this is the egg cell. Okay. So it consists of large central haploid egg cell and 2 supporting synergid cells. Synergids shows hair-like projections called filiform apparatus. तर ह्या synergidsला filiform apparatus असतं इथे, filiform apparatus, which guide the pollen tube towards the egg. What is the function of this synergid? The pollen tube enters through this synergid inside this ovule. Okay, ovule. So it acts as the filiform apparatus. Antipodal cells. What is the function of these antipodal cells? See, antipodal cells are group of 3 cells present at the chalazal end. Means this chalazal end कडे जे असतात that is called as antipodal cells. The 2 haploid polar nuclei of large central cell fuse to form diploid secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. So it will act as these 2 will act as the secondary nucleus. ते आपण इथे पण पाहिलं होतं. See, this is the fusion of 2 polar nuclei and hence it is called as secondary nucleus. त्याचा ज्या दोन पोलार न्यूक्लिया आहेत त्या फ्यूज होऊन इथे सेकंडरी न्यूक्लियस बनतो. ओके. सो the two haploid polar nuclei of large central cell fuse to form secondary nucleus, or it is also called as definitive nucleus, just prior to fertilization. So the formation of this secondary nucleus takes place just before fertilization. Remember that fertilization is not takes place yet. आतापर्यंत अजून fertilization झालेलं नाहीये. This 7-celled and 8-nucleated structure is called as embryo sac. See, 7-celled. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 cells आहेत आणि 8 nuclei आहे. So it is called 7-celled and 8-nucleated stage is called as embryo sac. This method of embryo sac development from a single megaspore is described as monosporic development. सिंगल मेगा म्हणजे एकाच सिंगल मेगास्पोर पासून एवढं सगळं झालेलं आहे. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज मोनोस्पोरिक डेव्हलपमेंट. म्हणजे सिंगल एकाच मी बघा, आउट ऑफ दिस 4 tetrad, out of these tetrad cells only one is remaining, means from the single megaspore the formation of this embryo sac takes place. Okay, so this method of embryo sac development from a single megaspore, फक्त एकाच मेगास्पोर पासून 7-celled and 8-nucleated embryo sac तयार झालेली आहे. That's why it is called as monosporic development. In angiosperms, the development of female gametophyte is endosporous, that is within the megaspore. All these events takes place inside the megaspore. Okay, female gametophyte is colorless, endosporic, and is concealed in the ovule enclosed by ovary. So whatever the female gametophyte is formed over here, this female gametophyte is formed over here, that is colorless, endosporic, takes place inside the megaspore. That's why it is called as endosporic, and it is concealed in the ovule. म्हणजे ते त्या ओव्ह्यूल मध्येच अजून बंदिस्त आहे. That's why it is called as female gametophyte is colorless, endosporic, and concealed in the ovule enclosed by the ovary. ओव्हरी फ्लॉवरच्या गायनोशियमला ओव्हरी, ओव्हरीच्या आतमध्ये ओव्ह्यूल, आणि ओव्ह्यूलच्या आतमध्ये हे सगळे इव्हेंट्स झालेले आहेत. इव्हेंट्स मीन्स अप टू दिस female gametophyte formation takes place. Okay, do you understand all these things? Okay, then next topic is the pollination. It is very easy. So but for today I think it is enough to study. You should study seriously and make notes of all these discussion. Okay, if you have any doubt, then you can clear or you can ask me directly by WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.